My earliest memories are concerned with the shining of a great river, which flowing by the spot where our simple village stood, gave sport to the boys, fear to the girls, toil to the men, and food to all. By the banks of this stream, with my feet in its current, I would sit for hours, and it was to me the suggestion and type of thoughts I could never hope in our simple language to express. I doubt if they could be defined even in the sweetest and most powerful words that other peoples know so well how to use. Sometimes I would pick a dandelion and fling it out to the swirl, and how strangely I felt as I saw it sweep dancing away. Or I would lose my arrowhead in its quicksands and would forget to search or even weep for it because of the flood of strange meditations that would come over me. Or I would lay my cheek on the grassy bank, my eyes on a line with the river as surface. And usually at such times there was another cheek, a softer one than mine, on the grass beside mine, and I know not what made me think of rushing down great lengths of time with her by my side, of struggling with other men when I should be a man, of going into still places and then into stormy places, and at last coming to a wide, beautiful quiet. Our village at the time of my boyhood was built under great trees whose whispers at night put us to sleep, and whose laughter in the fresh morning breeze wakened us. The lands of my fathers stretched away for many miles to another great river, but it was the custom of my people to live clustered together in this one most beautiful God of Ploughed for mutual happiness and protection. Our Tathers had lived upon this spot for so many years that spake not of their coming, their grabs on the neighboring hill far outnumbered the members of our tribe who now lived or could live for many years. They had mostly lived upon buffalo meat from the prairies and fish from the river. But in addition to these, which were now becoming scarce, we had potatoes and grain from our own lands, cultivated by our toil. How we came to plow the earth and raise corn upon it, marring beauty for utility's sake, was told to me when I was of years to understand by Pan Naji Standing Elk, as the white man would call him, who was the wise man of our tribe. Some years ago, he said, as we sat under the deep shade of a tree, and he made a new bow for me while I whittled the arrow, there came a white man to our teepees, and we received him as a brother. His hair was white as yonder foam upon the Missouri. His form was bent by the winds of many years, but his words were soft and sweet as the rippling of Niobrara over the sand. In his hand he brought the book, the holy teachings of which were like the gentle fall of rain, causing to spring up from our hearts grains and flowers, whose seeds had long lain there. Our fathers had dim traditions of all the good man taught, but the words of the holy book made these buried sproutings to rise and bud. He gathered the chiefs and headmen of our tribe together, and told them of Wakanda, whom the white men call God. The chiefs reverently told him that they and their fathers had always known and worshipped Wakanda, who was tense, the kind father of red men as well as white. Then the good man told them of the wrongfulness of anger, lying, and revenge, and the chiefs said they had known all this too. But when he told them of Wakanda's son, who loved the simple-hearted and the poor, and died for them, Ikaga, or our fathers wept and said, we had hoped for such an friend, but we knew not he was ours. For many days the good man stayed with our people, and taught us how to build these houses of the logs felled from the brooksides. He told us many of the strange ways of white men, who live in close and dirty cities, and many of whom have never felt the sweet breeze of the prairies on their cheeks, or watched the scarlet bursting of a blizzard storm. He chided us for not plowing the ground and raising corn, and seemed to think his people were wiser than ours that they did so. But our chiefs said that their fathers had raised corn upon that continent before white man's foot had pressed it. That we had departed from their ways was a matter of proud choice. Our fathers, they said, were like the prairie dogs who burrow into the ground on one spot to gain their food. We are like the eagles who in unchained liberty snatch their prey from the foamy tops of river waves. We might be squaws to dig, we choose to be free. And there was like to be hatred between the chiefs and the good man. But his face was so calm, and he showed so well how strong it is to forgive, that instantly there was peace. Then he pointed out, in words as cooling as balsam salve, how the game was disappearing from the divides and how the Huxi were netted and so slaughtered in every stream.